everyone, welcome to Capital City Underground. I'm Erica Nett.
And I'm Nick Hermson. We've got a packed show for you today.
We sent a reporter to the Black Lives Matter protest earlier today, so we'll be covering that later in the show.
Plus, we've got a cool guitarist and a feature on a costume designer right here at UNL.
So let's get started with some local, national, and international news. Our top story is a national one that's taken a local spin. UNL students held a Black Lives Matter protest earlier today in the wake of rallies against racism at the University of Missouri and Yale University. Our very own reporter, Bailey Neal, attended the protest. She's live at the Union now with a full recap.
Hey guys, by all accounts, it was a successful rally here as students and faculty alike came together for the Black Lives Matter rally here on campus.
At the hands of police accompanied the many powerful speeches made by students at today's rally. When Trevor Obermuller created the Facebook event, he thought it would just be him and a few friends handing out flyers to raise awareness of racism.
I know that these things happen on the campus, and I wanted to help bring them to light.
Caitlin Evans, a co-organizer of the event, wants people to know that while this rally is in support of Mizzou, the issue is everywhere.
This protest was not just because of Mizzou or the things happening in Mizzou. It was just the perfect timing that these things are happening across the country.
It was a diverse crowd in attendance. Black, white, old, and young. People from all walks of life came together in this peaceful protest. Many say that today was a successful first step in the right direction.
And it was pretty quiet here now, as you can see, but from that video earlier, you saw there were a lot of people here, definitely a full crowd, but all very peaceful.
Bailey, students asked for some changes to be made on campus. What are they asking for?
Some of the changes they're asking for are cultural and racial sensitivity classes for freshmen, a more diverse faculty, and justice for some of those racially aggravated events that have occurred on campus.
And Bailey, I know there were some negative comments on the Facebook page. Did they run into any problems today?
Yeah, there were a few kind of inappropriate comments on the Facebook page and some social media, but thankfully none of that showed up at the rally. I think the biggest issue they had was the PA system cut out a little bit, but overall it was a success today, guys. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Bailey. Today, Republicans pushed legislation through the House that made it harder for Syrian and Iraqi refugees to enter the U.S. This is just after ISIS claimed responsibility for the attacks in Paris that killed 129 people and revived post-9/11 fears in the U.S. The measure will require the FBI to conduct background checks on the refugees. President Barack Obama is promising to veto the bill.
We have new information developing about the attacks in Paris.
According to the French prosecutor's office, DNA testing confirmed the man who organized the Paris attacks was killed Wednesday in a raid north of Paris.
Wiretap evidence led police to an apartment in St. Denis where they battled ISIS military in a bloody 7-hour raid.
In addition, the Belgian law enforcement conducted half a dozen raids in Brussels Thursday, focusing on the friends and family of another one of the Paris attackers. Police say that specific attacker blew himself up outside the Stade de France.
And meanwhile, France's lower house of parliament approved extending the state of emergency through February. The upper house will take up the measure tomorrow.
France's president also says his country is taking the lead in taking out ISIS. Let's have a listen.
Rule of law is the most precious thing for man. Daesh is making war against our ideas, our art of living on life, and life in France.
The band, who was performing in Paris on Friday during one of the attacks, are home safe. Eagles of Death Metal were mid-concert when gunmen opened fire. All future shows are on hold until further notice. 4 of the band members' staff was killed in the attacks. The band says they are proud to stand with their new family, now united by a common goal of love and compassion. Nebraska Supreme Court Justice Michael McCormick is set to retire after 18 years of service. The judicial branch announced yesterday that McCormick will serve until the end of 2015. McCormick was appointed to the bench in 1997 by Governor Ben Nelson. McCormick represents the 4th Judicial District, including parts of Sarpy and Douglas counties.
A UNL journalism class is launching a campaign to raise awareness about beer sales in White Clay, a Nebraska town on the border of a dry South Dakota Indian reservation. White Clay sold nearly 4 million cans of beer last year, despite only having about a dozen residents. Most of the customers came from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, where alcohol possession is illegal. The project is designed to educate people and draw the attention of state and national governments. New research shows that drinking coffee could actually be good for you. Researchers came to the conclusion that coffee drinkers are 10% less likely to die of heart disease. The research also shows that coffee drinkers are 37% less likely to suffer Parkinson's or dementia. The study also connected coffee consumption with lower suicide rates.
A new state program called Achieving a Better Life Experience is set to launch next summer. The program is designed to help people with disabilities create tax-advantaged savings accounts. It allows adults with intellectual disabilities and their families to save for medical, housing, and educational needs. According to State Treasurer, the program will be one of the first of its kind to become operational. Downtown Lincoln shops are staying open late tonight just for you. VIP shoppers will enjoy special discounts, giveaways, and appetizers from your favorite restaurants and other fantastic shopportunities. This is the 5th annual Shop the Block's holiday celebration that the Downtown Lincoln Association has put on for the community. Downtown will also be participating in Small Business Saturday, which is the Black Friday equivalent for locally owned shops. It will take place the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
India's film censor authorities have ordered that 4 scenes in the latest James Bond movie Spectre be shortened before its release in the country. The Central Board of Film Certification has ordered that scenes including at least 2 kisses between the lead actors be trimmed before release. The decision was trending on social media on Thursday. Nick, I haven't seen this movie, but now I'm kind of curious to see what scenes they're talking about.
No, and it's interesting, too, because James Bond, I mean, he's a ladies' man. You know, you can't take away the kisses. But anyways, India, I feel bad for you. There is a viral video circulating. A couple broke the big news of their first pregnancy to their parents in a pretty cool way. Take a look.
I had Piper.
I'm pregnant.
Piper.
Yes.
Keep saying it. Keep saying
You're
it.
going to be, you're going to be grandparent.
Keep saying it.
You're going grandfather.
Grandfather.
Yes.
I'm going to be a grandfather.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to be a grandfather. I'm going to be a grandfather. I'm going to be a grandfather. Yes. Oh, we're going to be grandfather. I can't believe that.
That just makes you smile, doesn't it?
I know, you can't help it.
What a clever way. You know, they were playing music so loud in the headphones that they were just reading lips, so they couldn't really hear, so that's why it was so awesome. We're going to take a break now, but please stick with us. We'll be right back.
90.3 KRNU is the University of Nebraska's own radio station located in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Since 1970, KRNU has been providing Lincoln with new indie music, local artist promotions, and the long support of local businesses. This year, KRNU is celebrating its 45th anniversary and plans to be around for at least another 45. Tune your FM dial to 90.3 anytime, or hear us live online streaming at krnu.unl.edu.
I always knew I was going to study fashion design in college, and I kind of got addicted to the energy.
Just to be able to see all the hard work the students have put into it and how talented they are.
The most innovative designers are students, and I get really excited knowing that kids are still into it. There's just no other industry like it.
I'm Prince Mukamara, and I'm urging you to go to collegeboundnebraska.com to see if you qualify.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Up next, we've got our Spotlight story. This week, we're taking a behind-the-scenes look at UNL's costume department. Some people may not realize how much work it actually takes to design and create clothing. Our reporter Joy Carey has been tracking the progress of the costumes for UNL's fall musical. Here's what she found.
The 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee is a musical about some strange yet lovable kids getting seriously invested in a spelling bee. Katie Davis is the costume designer for the show. She says costumes can completely change the audience's experience.
People don't always think about just how much what a character wears influences how they think about the character. We, as an audience, tend to judge a person before we hear them talk, and that first judgment can really influence how you see the play.
Davis says creating a persona through clothes is even harder with a more contemporary show, and the age of some of the characters adds another layer of difficulty, like trying to make this 20-year-old actor look like he's 12.
We've just had some challenges that come for any type of show when you're trying to make a couple of adults look like children, where you have to bring together a more youthful air to the costumes, so you need to have brighter colors, kind of aging everything down a little bit.
Yeah, but you could switch the next two and it would become Will Aim.
I love getting costumes. I love watching the cast members get costumes for the first time because it makes their character come to life in a new way that you don't see when they're just up here in their street clothes.
The design process started with Davis's concept drawings back in August. Then she had a meeting with the director, stage manager, and others to establish her vision for the costumes. By October, Davis was able to show the finalized designs to the actors.
So she gets the tools and stuff. Political fabulous.
And then began the many hours for the costume shop workers making the costumes.
Over here, we've got someone working on Olive's dress. So the purple top is the top part of her bodice of the dress, and then the rest of it is more of a floral. We're adding buttons, bright pink buttons down the front, because it'll look really cute.
This is Davis's fourth time designing costumes for a UNL main stage show, and she estimates that this time she put about 100 hours into the job. But the audience doesn't get to see the hours put into these costumes. Since the show opened on November 11th, all that's left is the final product. For Capital City Underground, I'm Joy Carey.
I'm here with Joy Carey, the reporter on the piece we just saw. Joy, thanks so much for doing that for us. Great piece.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun to follow.
So that looks like a lot of work. Do the costume designers get paid for that?
Nope, it's a lot of hours they actually put in for free. Katie Davis told me that it's what she wants to do for a job. She'd like to be a costume designer in a major theater, and so it's practice for her.
Wow, that's awesome. And then if our viewers want to know more about the show, where can they go to get some information on that?
Sure. The show runs through this weekend, so if you want to see it, it's tonight through Saturday at 7:30 p.m., and then they're also doing a matinee Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's at the Howell Theater, which is in the Temple Building, and you can get tickets online or at the door.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Joy.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Nick, at the desk.
Thanks, Joy, a bunch for that amazing piece. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll have On the Spot with our guy, Drew. Stay with us.
Donations from our supporters through Campaign for Nebraska enrich the classroom experience, advance research, fuel innovation and economic development, and enhance the campus environment. Campaign for Nebraska and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln thank our donors for gifts that write a story of success for the future.
Well, the speech and debate team is 143 years old. We're the oldest student activity on campus, and we're one of the best.
We work really hard.
And we're the best Big Ten team in the nation.
We've won the Big Ten Tournament Championship 3 years in a row.
And for the past 8 years, we have placed in the top 10 nationally.
We have the best students, the hardest working, the most dedicated. We have the best students here at Nebraska.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. It's Drew, and we're back with another week of On the Spot. This week's edition is about Thanksgiving, and we're here at the Union to see if these students know the true meaning behind Thanksgiving dinner. Let's get started.
I had a dream, whipped cream, Thanksgiving.
Which president declared that Thanksgiving be on the third Thursday of November? Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Was it Abraham Lincoln? You know, today I don't know.
I'm gonna guess Christopher Columbus.
Roosevelt. We go with Roosevelt.
What settlement of pilgrims were the first to celebrate Thanksgiving? It was Virginia, not the Plymouth.
Whatever one killed the Indians.
Mayflower.
Plymouth Rock. What is a turkey less than 12 weeks old called? Fryer roasted.
Baby turkey.
A fletchling. I don't know.
Mini gobbler.
You know, my favorite part about that was probably watching Drew just walking around the Union doing this. Imagine how many people were staring at him.
Probably a lot. That was definitely one of the funnier ones we've had. So.
Well, I've heard that we might be getting some snow.
Yeah, let's check upstairs with our weather guys, Jake and Cody, and see what the deal is with that.
Capital City Underground Weather Team, Cody, Audra, and Jake update Lincoln with your latest weather information. From the storms to the studio, let's take a look at this week's forecast.
Capital City Underground, I'm Cody Carlin. A lot of people lately have been asking, what's with this strange weather? Severe weather in Nebraska in November? Is that actually possible? It actually is. We've actually seen tornado reports in November across much of southeast Nebraska. These are the averages for tornadoes in November. And in the plain states you see in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, they actually do have average reports of tornadoes. But in Nebraska, it actually is 0 for average. So how can that be? We're actually really not immune to tornadoes here. If you even look back just November 11th and also November 16th, we even had some tornado reports as recently as November 16th. This was all the tornado and severe weather reports for much of the Great Plains. As you can see, from Texas all the way up to southern Nebraska, in Beaver City, Nebraska, there was a tornado that touched down. So even though we are in Nebraska and though peak season has ended for much of the United States, we can still see that severe weather is possible. So make sure you're still listening to the National Weather Service warnings as well as watches, and make sure you keep an eye on the sky. For Capital City Underground, I'm Cody Carlin. Here's Jake Petter with your local weather forecast.
Thanks, Cody. Now looking at your current weather here in the capital city, we got 46 degrees. It's sunny and breezy, so the winds are gusting at about 31 miles per hour, so it's a little windy. But looking at tonight, it's going to get quite chilly with a low of 24 degrees. Clouds will be increasing slightly, but winds will die down slightly at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, winter weather makes its way back into the forecast, where fast-moving weather systems bring in a chance for snowfall later in the evening. So with a high around 45 degrees, it'll begin with a rainfall around noon and gradually transition into snow later into the evening. Looking at snowfall potential, looking at our map here, this is a map of the 24-hour probability of 1 inch or greater snow. So we can see the higher amounts are up in northeastern Nebraska, where there's actually a winter storm warning in effect. But here in the capital city, we're expecting more around a trace to 2 inches of snow. It's kind of a tricky forecast. It all depends on when that rain transitions over to snowfall in the evening. Looking at our week ahead, Saturday it's going to be quite chilly at 35, but as we move into the weekend and into the rest of your work week, temperatures will begin to warm up into around the 50s, with 50 on Monday, 53 Tuesday, and 50 on Wednesday. Now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jake and Cody. Okay, we're going to move right into our sports section now. The man convicted in the death of the 2-year-old son of Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson is being sentenced in South Dakota. He faces a mandatory life term. MLB pitchers Dallas Keuchel and Jake Arrieta clinched one final victory of the season. Keuchel of the Houston Astros and Arrieta of the Chicago Cubs were announced as the Cy Young Award winners last night. Keuchel for the American League and Arrieta for the National League. This is the third award for the Chicago Cubs this season, as Chris Bryant took home the National League Rookie of the Year award and Joe Maddon was named National League Manager of the Year.
The New Orleans Pelicans have just one victory so far in this NBA season, and believe it or not, they aren't even the league's worst team. The Sixers are 0-12 this season and 0-22 since last March following a 112-85 loss to the visiting Indiana Pacers. The Pacers improved to 7-5. The Husker volleyball team defeated Indiana 3-0 last night at the Devaney Center, and your men's basketball team will take on Delaware State tonight at the Pinnacle Bank Arena starting at 7 p.m. When we come back, we'll have our music segment and our cultural happenings. Please stay with us.
90.3 KRNU is the University of Nebraska's own radio station located in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Since 1970, KRNU has been providing Lincoln with new indie music, local artist promotions, and the long support of local businesses. This year, KRNU is celebrating its 45th anniversary and plans to be around for at least another 45. Tune your FM dial to 90.3 anytime, or hear us live online streaming at krnu.unl.edu.
I always knew I was going to study fashion design in college, and I kind of got addicted to the energy.
Just to be able to see all the hard work the students have put into it and how talented they are.
The most innovative designers are students. And I get really excited knowing that kids are still into it. There's just no other industry like it.
I'm Prince Mukamara, and I'm urging you to go to CoJMC to see if you qualify.
Earlier in the show, we covered the Black Lives Matter rally that happened here on UNL's campus. Our reporter Connor is live at the Union with one of the speakers from today's event.
Thanks, Erica and Nick. So I'm here with Mecca Slaughter. She was one of the speakers at today's rally. Mecca, can you tell us a little bit about what you saw today and how it went overall?
Today, I saw people coming together for a common cause, hashtag Black Lives Matter, and I think that it went over very well. At first, we didn't think that it was going to get this big, and then we were on the plaza at first, then we moved to the green space, and so I think it went very well for the amount of people that came out today.
And how many people would you say attended today?
Over 500. I'm not good with math, I'm a journalism student, but I would say over 500 people showed up today.
And were they a mix of students, faculty, professors?
Yeah, it was a mix of professors, faculty, staff, students. People came from Omaha. I mean, my own mother came. I saw some teachers that I had in middle school who showed up today. So it was a lot of people coming from everywhere in the community as well, just coming to support this cause that we have on campus.
So going off of this, where can we go from here? I understand you guys made some recommendations to the university specifically.
So from here, our plans are just to sit back down, go over what we did, talk about, and see how we can move forward in what we said we were going to do. This was basically a call to action. So we had this rally. Now we're actually going to start doing stuff about it. Over Thanksgiving break, we're going to take some time, get everything back together. And then when we come back, it's just full force.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mecca, for being here with us today. Now we're going to the next music segment of the show where we have Pastor Adam White with the Lutheran Center, and he's going to perform an original song, All I Need.
I've searched everywhere,
looking for something that could fill my soul. And I've tried everything, and everything gave me nothing that could fill this gaping hole. The world gave me momentary security as it left me falling to the ground. The world slowly ripped my heart away from me until in Jesus Christ I was found, yeah. I can't promise I'll ever find perfection, but I know one soul who can. And I can't answer all the world's questions, but I know the answer's just one man, yeah. Just one man. You're all I need to get me through this life. You're all I need. But thanks to your sacrifice, I know you're all I need. You're all I need. I want to thank you, Lord Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You're all I need to get me through this life. You're all I need. Thanks to your sacrifice, I know you're all I need. You're all I need.
Well, that's all the time we have. We will be back in 2 weeks on December 3rd for our final show because next week is Thanksgiving.
Yes, and one of my favorite holidays. I'll tell you guys and you, for everyone to know, I actually have a pair of khaki pants with an elastic waistband.
No, you don't.
Because you still have to look nice, but still be,
And you only bring them out for Thanksgiving?
Right. Anyways, thanks a bunch, guys, for being here with us. We'll see you on December 3rd. Have a great night.